Right. I'm going to show you a
Yeah.
series of movie posters, and you may have come across some of these before, but they are generally tend to be hand drawn.
Okay.
They not always the case, but they generally tend to be from certain African countries,
I,
Ghana being one of them.
I have definitely seen a couple of these before, but I think I know of the quality.
And generally, what tends to happen is they've taken a movie,
Hmm.
and for whatever reason, I don't reckon they've seen this movie before. They've maybe read a plot somewhere,
Hmm.
and they've put their own interpretation of what that film may be.
I have seen a couple of these before, so I'm not for a while though. So
I came across a pile of them the other day, and I thought, let's just throw it out to the rest of the boys on Rewind the Movies, and let's go from there. So I'm going to share my screen.
and
So this series, I've got about 17, I think, 16, 17, just to go
okay.
through. Right. So here's the first one. So all I'm looking for is your reaction, and yeah, and we'll just talk through it. Child's Play. Look at that bad boy.
I love. Well, I can kind of now. I like to kind of break these down a little bit. Like so,
They're
now,
brilliant.
the fact that guy down there with the M4 carbine or whatever it is down there in Child's Play 3, they are sort of at like a military school, and there is that plot line at the end of Child's Play 3 where he does switch the pink he switches the blank bullets in the guns during a training exercise to real bullets. So all these army kids.
Well, maybe then this is Child's Play 3. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying like there's a semblance of something. I always like to try and look for some sort of like logic in these things. I don't know.
I love the fact that this Chucky at the bottom seems to have vampire teeth.
Yeah.
And he's stabbing this guy in the back who's shooting, who's reacting not at all.
I didn't even realize he was stabbing that guy. I didn't realize that was the guy he was stabbing. But like the thing I'm looking at the most is like, what's with the guy bent over that railing there?
The one with the cow print pants on.
Yeah, like that's like it's like he's twisted around and like it's just everything about that. So the face on Chucky at the top is fantastic.
I love them. I could look at these all day. I think they're
Warwick
fabulous.
Davis as Chucky.
Right, next one.
It's one of the it's got a well I'm guessing this is a Japanese poster. It's got now at first I know what it is now. I just worked it out. But at first I thought Confessions of a Plumber or something. But now I realize it's American Werewolf in London because of the bottom bit of the screen.
Yeah, right. So it is. And it's from Japan. You were right.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to pull your eyes to two things, right? So first of all, you got the balloons at the top. Yeah, brilliant. That's in the film. But have a look at the bottom left-hand side.
Yeah, that was one of the clues that got me going. I was a bit like, is the nurse with a wolf munching her out, basically? Or is he sniffing her like a dog would sniff?
I don't know. But she seems to be yeah.
What's going on in the sun down there? Like that's that round thing is the sun, right? What's that?
No, if you look at it, it's like a glass of whiskey or a glass
of
wine. Because there's a tap going into it, which is like it's either the biggest glass in the world or the smallest tap in the world.
What's the wine glass about?
I have no idea.
Is this supposed to be something British or European? The glass of wine of Japan muddled up France and London or Paris and London even? Is that like an Oscar in the corner, but in the left corner? Is that like an Oscar statue?
I don't know. Did it win an Oscar? I can't remember.
Maybe it did. It might have done for special effects. American Werewolf in London, Oscars. Let's have a look. It did. It won Best Makeup and Hairstyling. So thank you. So that's the only cover of American Werewolf in London with the Oscar statue on it. And it's that crazy one.
Thank you, Japan. Right, next one.
The thing was that poster is better than the film. I've seen it a few times because he used to be on they used to play it on ITV2 all the time for some reason. And this is back in the day when you didn't have many channels and Freeview boxes had just come out. There was a couple of nights when I just watched it, and it's pretty bad.
I just love the fact that they've got this cat with a forked tongue, which is what that's nothing to do with the film. Surely.
It looks like it's vomiting pink stuff over Halle Berry with the biggest cat helmet in the world. I don't know why, but like the look of that, the font of it has like a sort of Italian, a very wonky Italian movie poster look to it, but But yeah, then Bombay kind of, I don't know why, but I'm getting a sort of a Bollywood Indian sort of like vibe from this one. But it's probably African, isn't it?
Again, another fabulous one. Right, next. Now, this takes a lot of unpicking, right? What do you think it is? Well, it says actually right in the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, but before it was The Shining.
Yeah. I thought it was The Shining with his head through the door, right?
Yeah.
Which they've seemed to have
He's
taken
for the bars.
Yeah, they've seemed to have taken that bit, but put him behind bars because he's obviously in the mental health institute. You've got what can only be described as Christopher Lee in the bottom left. You've then got these like zombie.
But you got Shelley Duvall. You've got Shelley Duvall from The Shining down there.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the block thing?
I don't know.
Not even I know what the block is.
It's like something from Planet of the Apes, but with like zombie men. And the one in the back seems to be like a werewolf or something.
It looks like Chuck Norris in the bottom right corner. That looks like Chuck Norris. That's from Turkey. That's got to be from Turkey.
I probably got it. It's Poland. They've obviously taken, I don't know, artwork from another film, which they maybe have access to, in this case being The Shining, and thought, oh, Jack Nicholson's in that. Let's just use that as our template to pull this poster together.
When I first thought it was a Shining poster, I was like, that's a brilliant Shining poster. But then I realised, no, it's best ever Shining poster, worst ever One for the Cuckoo's Nest poster at the same time.
Right, next.
Is that like Caravan of Courage or something? Or
I don't really know. I don't even recognize the characters at the top, I'll be honest. But have a look at the very bottom, right? You've got an Ewok and you've got someone who, in theory could be someone like Han Solo, right? But have a look at the one to the left and one who would be in position number 4 if you were counting left to right.
Mm-hmm.
They look like something from either a Japanese anime, or something from like Nintendo.
Well, the one sort of like second from the right at the bottom, he looks a bit like Harry and the Hendersons. What the hell is that thing next to him? Boy? It looks like it looks like a fish with legs. I don't know what. It looks like a shark with legs or something.
There's a movie in itself, isn't there? Right, next one. Now this is a classic. Look at this.
That's got to be an African one, right?
Yeah, it looks. No, they're always done on this like random bit of either fabric or card.
Yeah. I'd love to hang it up in my house, though. Like, I'd love to hang it up in the office, that poster. I mean, it's like one of those so bad, it's amazing sort of things. Like, why the snakes? I haven't seen Tremors since I was a kid. I can't really remember it. The only thing, I just can't remember it at all. I think I've seen Tremors 1 and 2 when I was very young, like early teenage, like 12 or something.
We did it on the podcast probably about a year ago, but I don't think you could make it. It's still enjoyable as a great B movie or B horror movie.
Yeah, it's Kevin Bacon and another actor whose name
Fred West, not Fred West, Fred Ward. Not the serial killer Fred West.
Who rest in peace, he died this year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go on.
Can you guess this one without looking at the top right hand corner?
I'm trying. I've given up, and I'm still trying to work this one out. But all I can see is Obki 8. I can't. Nostromo. What the?
Well, Nostromo, isn't it? Is the ship in a film?
I can't. I don't think I can. No, I'm gonna have to throw in the towel on this one. What is that?
This is Alien.
Alien.
Yeah.
I don't know what relevance this has to Alien.
No, not at all.
But it's a brilliant poster. That would, if I was in the video shop, that would catch my eye.
Right, next one. Straight away you know what it is.
Yeah, but what happens to Winona Ryder?
Look at her face. And look at this like werewolf beast at the top who's got like 3 faces.
Yeah. I thought it said Dracula Dead and Loving It, Ben, but it said Deadly Improved.
Leslie Nielsen in the background.
I'm most impressed by the top part. Some guy jumping out of an explosion.
I just love the fact that Winona Ryder looks like she's been stamped on.
She looks like her head looks like a foot. If I was in a video shop and it was the real cover of Dracula and then that one, I would go for that one because of how interestingly weird that cover looks.
Right, next.
That's the Fright Night I want to watch.
So I'm going to show you something, and I know you're not necessarily a sports fan, are you?
No.
But did you ever play like sports games on PlayStation and
Back in the day, FIFA 2000 and all that.
Yeah, right. So there's a specific cover from Pro Evolution Soccer 3, which I believe, and it took me ages to work this out. I believe they ripped it off. So watch this. It's the same one, isn't it?
Yeah, you kind of are right. Like they look like, it's got aside from the one hand down there, but that makes sense.
So that's Collina, right? Who's an Italian referee. He's retired now. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, they must have ripped off that poster or that picture.
That's a good deep dive find though, because you're probably the first person in the world to have noticed that.
The only person.
I wonder who that's supposed to be on the front, because like I don't know all that. I don't know what the prominence of that character is on the. It's a great poster. It's better than the original Fright Night poster. It wins.
There's the thumbnail for this video anyway.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right, come on, next one. No, look at this bad boy.
Well, it's Terminator 2 as well. I just realised.
So Terminator, he is a goodie in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
So that there's the heart.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it brilliant? Just like all the dimensions and everything to do with the pictures.
With his with his upper arm, it's just like a knob. They've made him look like a special robot. I'm just going to say that.
It's the fact that one eye is like quite far away, high up from where it should be. If
is this Sloth from Goonies?
if he was ever the Terminator.
If they built a robot version of Sloth and put a wig on it, there it is. But again, I'm going to say this. I would do a double take of that in the video shop. Not for the right reasons, though.
It'd catch your eye, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right, next.
Freddy Verster is Jason.
First of all, right, Freddy isn't there. You've got Jason, what seems to be strangling Paulie Shaw.
Yeah, or Carrot Top.
Okay.
Through a washing machine, by the way.
Exactly.
He's coming out of the washing machine.
And then I don't know who this guy is on the left-hand side.
I think that's Jason, because
without the mask.
That's sort of what Jason looks like without his mask on, but not in a good way. But that looks more like Jason without his mask on than Freddy Krueger.
And then obviously you've got this guy with no head, who could be, I suppose, the jumper of Freddy, but you wrong colours.
Yeah.
And then this hook.
From I Know What You Did Last Summer. I would hang it up on my wall. I got to be honest. It's a terrible poster, but it's quite like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that. Like, Jason looks like a ninja with a hockey mask on in that.
Right, next.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a million miles away from in my head what a Resident Evil poster looks like.
I will say I love the white nipples on Mila Jovovich. I will say that. Now, I say Mila Jovovich looks quite good, but Michelle Rodriguez starts to look like really dodgy. I mean, what's going on with her ass?
It's really high up, isn't it?
Yeah, and her arm is perfectly behind Mila Jovovich's, or is it arm coming out of Mila Jovovich's elbow?
I don't know.
I'm guessing what they were going for was like one of the lickers at the top.
I don't know.
It doesn't look anything like a licker. I love the dog.
The dog with the human head.
Because it's right. They are right. It does happen, but like not quite in that way. But yeah, I guess. I love
McCready at the bottom, so Kurt Russell's character, who looks a little bit like John Lennon.
I don't know who's who in that thing. I mean,
you could be any of them.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, like, looks like I didn't know. Well, you say McCready looks a bit like Nick Cage down there. He looks like Nick Cage midway through growing his hair for Con Air. And the dog. Well, first off, there's not even a golden retriever in the thing. They're huskies.
I love the fact they've obviously seen a picture of the original Thing poster, right? Mm-hmm. You know that one where the light is shining out of his head and you can't really tell much about it. So they've obviously seen that, but then just interpreted other aspects into it.
I think the poster studio were like, make it look more sexy and horror-y.
Right, next one.
Well, it looks like the Chinese Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know why, but what's going on there? I mean, it looks like the Texas Chainsaw Factory. It looks a bit like as well.
Very brutal. Don't miss this.
Is this a Chinese one? I don't know why, but like Leatherface looks like, and the guy getting chainsaw looked like the Asian. Yeah, I feel sorry for the chap. Just he's sitting in a chair for some dinner, and whoop, chainsaw comes in from nowhere and cuts both his extremely long legs off at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I love that. Well, it has got my favorite scene on the front cover, the bit when he chainsaws the guy up while he's screaming.
Right. I think we're coming on to the last couple now. If not,
Okay.
that might have been the last one. But right, can you guess what this is? There is a big clue in it. Actually, I've just noticed the name of the film is actually in there somewhere, and then there's a massive clue right at the top.
It's big.
It is big.
Yeah. Now, do you know how I got it? It was Penny Marshall's name at the bottom. And then I looked up and I saw Zoltan. I was like, yep, it's the I don't know how that's big though. I mean,
I don't know either. Do you remember Tom Hanks wearing the Love Heart sunglasses?
Again, the first thing I thought was Beatles. I mean, I don't know why, but I was a bit like, you know, like I think it's like the yellow peace symbol, but it's actually not a peace symbol. What is that? There's nothing to break down on that one. It's just like Andy Warhol style art project. I don't know what that is.
It's like they've got, I don't know, a template from somewhere for a movie poster and just thrown a couple of things in then that are big related. Right, next one. Guess the film. If you get it, I'll take you out for food. Oh, no, actually, I'm not taking you out for food because it does say right at the very top who's in it. So just look at the main picture. It's like Studio Gimli or somewhere like that has made this film poster.
Right, I have given up and I've looked up to the top and I've just instantly worked out what it is. But you don't have to buy me dinner because I never would have got that in a million years, man. Like,
it's like the most surreal interpretation of this movie ever.
I'm just going to say, in case anyone at home hasn't realized, it is Ghostbusters. That's purely because it says the entire cast name and Ivan Reitman at the top.
This is Poland as well.
Now let's just try and work this out a second. It looks like a head with a long soggy nose, which is a pepper grinder at the bottom, and then a guy with its dick out shooting a little orangutan falling from
or a yeti.
Well, I thought orangutan, but yeah, you could say Bigfoot. I don't even know how you'd get that was Ghostbusters ever. I don't know what I'm lost for words. What's the next? Give us the next one.
Right, this is the next one and the last one. And look how epic this is.
Well, first off, right now, Tango and Cash is one of the best films you've ever done on Rewind the Movies. Now, I'm actually going to say right now, obviously, I know that it's Cobra and
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble, your favorite movie, and but I actually think that's an amazing poster for Tango.
It's bloody amazing. It's like the best one we've seen so far.
But that's the right poster for it. That's
well, I love the fact. So you've got Marion Cobetti from Cobra. You've got Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, and Terry Hatcher. And we're not being funny. They've done quite well to draw Sly and Kurt Russell. I couldn't draw that.
That's not Terry Hatcher. That's no. I can't figure out what that is, but that's someone from a different movie. That's a dancing scene from a different movie, and I can't figure out what it is.
Maybe it's a cover from like Pro Evolution Soccer 4.
Maybe, yeah. That's the Cobra cover is so iconic. My mind keeps thinking that's Cobra, not Tango and Cash. What's clever about that poster? Bit of duct tape over Tango and Cash. You got Big Trouble in Little China. Bit of duct tape is Cobra. You can make that. That's 3 movies.
Right, that is our last one. Hopefully, we might do another series of these videos. But yeah, I'm just going to leave you with that image. Cheers, all.
Yeah.